found out that we share the same birth month. So I guess that's where the humor is from, right? Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Taha, for sharing your humor and showing us the courage to be unapologetically yourself. Let's give him another round of applause, please. Okay. Can we just pause a moment and take in everything we've shared? It's been 2 days of amazing experience and learning, from laughter to the courage and storytelling. This summit has been nothing short of incredible. But before we go, we have some parting words from our Let's Stop AIDS team. Please give a big round of applause as we first welcome our Let's Stop AIDS founder and president, Charmin, followed by Serena.
Well, first, I can't believe this is the 6th edition of No Time to Wait. It was just an idea that came up many, many, many years ago, even before No Time to Wait had a name. And I can't believe that today I'm on a stage where we've had moments where the day 2 has had like 10 people there. And to now have a room with close to 100 people here on day shows how much advocacy is needed. So first, I want to really thank each of you as attendees, as delegates, as ambassadors and youth leaders for coming and staying and being present. The second, I really want to thank our organizers and speakers and volunteers, and especially my very caring staff that have been able to make this entire event. So before I go into a lot of detail and talk about a bunch of things and really give a whole summary of this night and day and weekend, No Time to Wait isn't about one voice. It's never been about one voice. It's been about many voices to remind us of why we're here. Throughout this entire summit, I've really tried my best to try and let as many young people take the limelight. Because when I was 15, that's what I wanted. I wanted other individuals to give space and provide that space for youth leadership. So youth leadership for me means an opportunity to be yourself, to be selfless, to be fearless. And today, throughout this entire weekend, all I've been seeing is that idea of not being afraid to talk about everything. Now, just to give you like a little tidbit about that, I've had people ask me questions in the last 2 days about how to get started, an idea they've had. I've had someone talk to me just not too long about kinky sex and things that go on in the world. That type of amazing to create a space that it feels safe to have those conversations. It was Tyler Watt who you saw on day 1 who said, change doesn't start in the halls of never underestimate the power of small steps that you take. I'll repeat that again. Never underestimate the power of small steps that you take. Because it's these little small steps that today I think I'm able to stand on the stage for the 6th time to talk and speak about how amazing the work we're doing. And that's really the secret to break stigma. Breaking stigma is a bunch of little moments where it becomes okay. And when someone says it's not okay, it was Desi Joe who reminded me by saying something that reminded me about a lot of young people who are living with HIV. And she said, when a person is given that diagnosis, seconds, the wall closes in. But I don't belong in a box. Nobody does. Whether you're living with HIV or not, none of us like to be in a box. It's why bullying is still a thing that happens, and we could actually prevent that even in the space of HIV. because I was just thinking about it, that really we can't let a disease take over who we are as ourselves. I will always be shaman and never let a virus determine how I live my life. And no one in this room should be in a space that creates stigma around that. I want to talk about why Let's Stop AIDS focuses so much on knowledge exchange and advocacy. Because when you provide knowledge, you provide an opportunity to be creative, for something new and creative. I'm sure you've each have had a chance to see our beautiful peer-to-peer team, which is Liz and Casey. We wanted to make sure that this time around that you really saw the power of youth leadership and that it doesn't need to be a formal, boring lecture. Through gamification and through unity, you can actually learn a lot by having fun. Like that's a cool thing, to have fun and learn about sexual health in a safe space is something that I think we can each bring back to our schools, to our communities, to our AIDS service organizations. And this leads me to one big thing about youth voices matter. If you don't make space for young people, then who are you making space for? You're going to end up getting old. You're going to not be leading those roles. Space of confidence. That space of confidence, just like Ta says, Mom, I have a penis. We need to be able to have that space where you feel confident to be yourself and be confident with what you say. And that doesn't mean that what you say has to be right or wrong. It's that you're confident that you believe. Because there's something powerful. It's why religion has still existed thousands of years. It's the idea of hope and believe. And the same goes with the idea of access to nutrition and fire to ignite that flame. Everything sort of just dwindles. And that's where I know we've said it and our peer-to-peer, P2P team said it, but you equals you. Undetectable equals untransmittable. And the reason I'm bringing that up was that Solomon said something that made me really resonate about it. It was that nobody has done anything in action or essential to success. You equals you would never have gotten the momentum it didn't if someone's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The science checks out. It wouldn't even be around today. And that's why at Let's Stop AIDS, we've decided that we're going to be fearless. We're not going to worry if other organizations tell us, Shaman, you need to do it in 5 steps. We're going to do it in 2 or 1 even. And that's where the idea, where this year we've been actually since last year, about our campaign called Zero Cuts, Zero Cases. As you heard from our national manager, Alex, yesterday, millions of avoidable HIV transmissions and deaths will drastically increase. So our Zero Cuts, Zero Cases advocacy campaign calls for zero cuts to HIV funding so that we can get to zero new HIV infections. This really may seem distant to many. It may seem the topic, but when you think about how connected of a world we are, when our decisions of Canada being an open country, I'm not saying anything about our neighbors, but they're not as open as we are in Canada. And I think if we want to keep it space, it reminds us about how close-knit we are. And there was a phrase that was said a long time ago about that Canada is we build bridges for other people to walk across, not just for us. Make sure your bridge is not a bridge to nowhere. And that made me really remind myself of that if we have a goal, and that goal, whether it's to open a little shop, finish an exam that I have to study for, or whether it's just to be nice to a friend who no one else is nice to, it could really be able to act as that support blanket. And that's where we heard earlier from Ahmed, who's still here, who said, community became my lifeline. It taught me how we protect each other, guide each other, and survive together. Like, just think about that. Just think about how it is if we each, as individuals, can really just protect and be each other. It makes then the world wants to make it seem so complex. So what I'm trying to say is that we need to take action now. We need to take action now because that's why we don't have time to wait. We truly only live once, as Vicky said yesterday, YOLO. So let's not forget that. And you don't need, and it was Marie who said, you don't need to get approval from anybody except yourself. This is where the approval being committed to yourself first is where it all starts. You can't change people if you can't change your own mind. And it's so important to question yourself so that when you're able to speak on a topic, you confidently feel you understand because you've done the devil's advocate side in your head. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to let everyone know that I'm still a volunteer at Let's Stop AIDS. I'm still committed to what we're doing. And I need each of us in this room to make a small commitment to ourselves. Let's talk about volunteerism. Let's talk about being a good person. Let's talk about being a global citizen. Let's remember what Solomon said earlier, that to think about being a good person when you can do a little bit every day to be that good person. One thing about taking action now that could be simple is I just want to see, do any of you have your phones with you? So one thing of taking advocacy that you can do that could help Let's Stop AIDS and could actually help break some stigma is to follow Let's Stop AIDS. So it's a little shameless plug, but I think it actually is an important start. By following Let's Stop AIDS, you're actually letting us know, let your friends, let everyone know that it is okay to follow an HIV/AIDS organization, and it is okay to have youth leadership involved. By being and supporting an organization like Let's Stop AIDS, it costs nothing but a follow. But that follow actually will make sure that your friends, your networks, your people are able to actually, when they need help, they can DM our team, and we could try our best to get them the right help they need or support they need. Or when you have a brilliant idea, you can just DM us. So that's why we wanted to bring that up, because sometimes emails takes longer, blah, blah, blah. So I want to leave that by saying that we need you to keep showing up, keep speaking out, keep building bridges, because truly we have no time to wait. Thank you for caring, and for many of you who don't know, the final part is that this year, Let's Stop AIDS celebrated its 21st birthday as an organization. That means I've been advocating and being told no for 21 years, and that was the final part I was going to say. There's so much of being a global citizen that you have to use those moments when things are down as a moment to actually get some more new fire. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. Think about that flame. Think about that idea. Bring it back to your homes, your communities, and let's not let this movement fade away. Thank you. Sorry, I'm not reading the script thingies. I should. I wanted to introduce Serena to the stage. Thank you.
We all are tired. We're all going to go because we had so much fun. But before we do that, I'm just going to have everybody stand up just very quickly, okay? Just if you can, if you're able. really appreciate. Okay, and then when I say, like I do this, I'm gonna have everybody scream. Okay, just gonna say okay, ooh, whatever you choose. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that is my first ever standing ovation. Thank you very much. Even begin. I can't believe it's already been 2 days. It feels like 200 years, and I definitely feel it in my back and my bones and my youth. Has everyone had fun? Oh. Okay, I've mentioned this over the past few days, but let's continue with the very highly anticipated Serena lore. All right, everyone knows, let's have the Menti going on the side going for us, please. It's going to be the same as this morning. How confident do you now feel in your youth health? Okay, let's start with me, my favorite topic. When I started my journey at LetsStopAIDS 6 years ago, I was 18 years old and had no idea what it meant to have autonomy over my own health. Yesterday, I told you all about my story with how I started at LetsStopAIDS years ago, planning the first ever edition of No Time to Wait in a very tiny room. Okay, some lore about me is I grew up with very beautiful, conservative Muslim parents. The most I ever knew about sex ed was not to do it. You learn to ask little questions and put faith in what you have to get done. It wasn't until I started volunteering with LetsStopAIDS, that's my shameless plug, that there is no one going to put faith in our youth unless youth step up at the forefront. LetsStopAIDS, I learned how to manage projects, grant. Okay, this is some plugs that I got from Shannon. So let me read them. We have a grant team, accounting for all those people who love math. Why do we have math? We have outreach, research, and planning. So you're going to be working with me. Very enticing. LetsStopAIDS showed me how to make youth health accessible, and I want to impart that with No Time to Wait for you. Lastly, I want to give my thank yous as an extension of this morning for my team at LetsStopAIDS, as well as for all of you. My P2P team, who stayed longer hours to prepare an exciting adaptation on both days. All right. My communications team, who, if you can believe it, have designed every single element of this room, from the floor plan to the socials to coding, streaming, and more. My leadership team, who have made sure everyone needs to be where they need to be, because I don't have my phone on me, so sorry for any panic calls, everyone. And my AV team, thank you! All right, you made my dream of talking on stage come true. So it's been wonderful, and I will not be listening to my stream afterwards, but our sponsors, partners, speakers, community members, No Time to Wait is as fun and exciting because of you and your support in time and more. My volunteers and co-ops, you have taken long hours outside of what has been expected of what made this event happen. My delegates, every single person in this room. Woo! This room, everyone, thank you for being here today. And most importantly, thank you to 18-year-old me who took a chance to listen to her health and put it at the forefront of all that we do. All right. I said yesterday, and what I truly believe in, and I want you to cheer if you hear something that also resonates with you. Comprehensive sex ed is a youth right. Youth deserve to be spotlighted more. And everyone needs the resources to be their own advocate. Okay, today, you are on the questions others won't ask, demanding the right to learn, be heard, and take control of our health. That's what Gen Zero is about. Thank you, everyone, so much. Okay.
Amazing! Another round of applause for our LSA team. Oh, the summit this year. Awesome. Now, before we close, for the last day, let's reveal our bingo winner. Drum roll, please. Okay. Congratulations to Tyson Dome. Oh, he's right there. Congrats. And our second winner is Maggie Wu. Here. Alright. Please head to the Let's Stop AIDS table for your prize. Thank you so much. And I personally want to take a moment to say a heartfelt thank you to our incredible speakers, facilitators, volunteers, sponsors, partners, and of course, our amazing production and AV team for all your hard work. Yes. Earlier this year, and it was amazing. So I'm glad to be the host for this year, and thank you for the opportunity. Oh, that was my boss. Go machine. All right, so please keep amplifying voices, keep building community, and keep proving that there is really no time to wait when it comes to creating the world we want to live in. Look, this movement doesn't stop here. Let's keep the conversation going, both in this room and beyond. Remember, there is no time to wait because the time is now and the change starts with us. I am Priscilla Irabana Akins, and it's been an honor sharing this space and journey with you all. Thank you for your energy, vulnerability, and your leadership. And with that, officially, it's a wrap. Oh, guys, we have to take a group photo, so if you can join me on stage now.
Excellent job.
Hi, everyone. If you could try to go onto the stage, we're just going to take a group photo. So if everyone could try to find a spot on the stage, it'd be greatly appreciated. Volunteers, staff, attendees, everyone.
Ahmad, get on stage. Ahmad, get on stage. Please, thank you. Taha, Baron, Sam, Neo. Go to the stage, thank you. Go, get, go. Catherine, Jimmy, Devansh, get on stage. Catherine, run to the stage. Baron, run to the stage, please. You're holding people up. Anyone else? People are shy. It's okay. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's take a silly one. Oh, sorry, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Someone's jumping in the back. Love that. Woo! you.